All right, CNT125 troubleshooting lab. We're starting on part 1 of the lab. So again, I've downloaded my lab file as a PDF, and I've downloaded the first part 1 packet tracer lab file. All right, so here we go. We want to get familiar with what is supposed to be here as far as routers, switch, phones, PCs, etc. And we want to kind of orient yourself to what is already here. Again, this is a network in place. We're trying to go through and correct a bunch of issues that they're having. So we want to be paying attention to the IP addresses, the port numbers that are being used, names being used, VLANs, port numbers, those sorts of things. So again, I have made a copy of the map so I have it handy for reference. So a method we can use when we're troubleshooting is kind of working through layers, layer 1, layer 2, layer 3. So let's start looking at some layer 1 things in this network that we might be able to correct to fix some problems, and then we can work our way deeper into the system. So first thing we're going to take a look at, let's just kind of do this orderly. We're going to look at PC1, PC2, laptop, and etc. at layer 1. So PC1 over here, is there anything layer 1 that we can check and or rectify in this network? So I'm going to get my map handy, and PC1 should be connected into the phone here, phone into port 1 if you will. So I'm checking PC fast Ethernet into the phone, phone into the switch, looks like it's port 1. But let's do a little double check here on what port this is plugged into Ethernet, good. Let's check this. What port is it plugged into? Ooh, it's plugged into the switch port. So it looks like this cable has been connected backwards. So I'm actually going to, let's delete this cable here. Let's move this into the switch port like it's supposed to be. Then we will put a patch cable from the PC back into the phone, into the PC port. We notice we have this cable, the link light has come on. Now, we see that there's no link lights here. That might be an issue up here. But at least this part right here for PC1 looks like it has been rectified. So again, I'm just going to kind of save my packet tracer file as I go here. So there would be layer 1 on our PC. We just checked the cables and the ports, and we're seeing the link lights come on. So hopefully the layer 1 issue over here is fixed. Let's take a look at PC2 now. PC2 doesn't have a cable, so let's try to put one in. We'll go from the phone. It's the PC port. Good. Let's try to drag it down here to the PC. Oh, looks like there's no port on it. So let's open the PC and take a look at the physical side. There's no NIC there. All right, so this is actually missing a NIC. Now, that is technically layer 2. So we'll hold off on that, and when we get to the layer 2 section, we'll put a NIC in it that hopefully we can bring this guy online as well. So that is actually a missing hardware issue on that one. Let's take a look now at laptop. Well, the laptop is actually supposed to be connected wirelessly. So if I take a look at the laptop, I do actually have a wireless NIC there. If I go to the desktop to PC wireless, it's not actually associated with the access point. So let's see if we might be able to find the access point and connect. Wi-Fi users, let's try to connect. Looks like it's looking for a password, so I'm going to check my map here. The password for this is password 1. So password 1. And let's try to connect. This is kind of like a layer 1, layer 2 issue, but we're at least trying to. Hey, it looks like we do actually have a successful link there. So we at least have our layer 1 link back to this. We don't know what else the status is there, but at least we have the layer 1 NIC because it was a setting issue on the NIC here for the laptop. All right, so we kind of have that one at least started. Let's look at the switch here. Well, the switch we're seeing, we have lots of red link lights here, like there's no links. As I look at these, we're connected port 1, port 5, port 21, port 24. Those all look correct. Again, I'm actually looking at my map here. 1, 5, 21, 24 all looks correct. And these are the correct type of cables. These are all straight throughs. So it looks like it's okay. This might be a further issue. If I hold my pointer down, I see all the links next to these ports are down. That might be actually a configuration issue at layer 2. So we've noted that at least physically things are correct, but we might have an actual config issue at layer 2 that might be wrong. Let's take a look at the router up here. We notice that we have a good link light here, Fast Ethernet 01, which again, looking at my map, 01, that is correct. 00 here is correct. It's the correct patch cable. But I see that is down. Okay, I can try, I can try just reconnecting my cable. All right. So ports are correct, cables are correct, but again, we still have link lights down. This is probably a configuration issue, maybe layer 2 at the switch here or layer 2 at the router with these ports. But at least physically, we've checked everything. Layer 1, we've checked everything. So layer 1, we've kind of gone through. We've corrected a cable here. We'll need to correct a NIC here. We've corrected the setting here that we at least have our layer 1 wireless connection back. We've checked all of our connections here. We probably have something configuration wrong at layer 2 or 3. So follow up now. How would I check my layer 1 connectivity? Well, in this case, we're actually doing some visual checks, making sure things are plugged in correctly, using the correct type of cable. How do I know the cables are usable? Well, in this case, I do plug one in and it is functioning. But if I do doubt in real life that this cable is working or usable, I would probably plug that into a cable meter and check it. Is this a usable cable? Is there a problem with it? That actually does not happen here in Packet Tracer, but in real life it might. And what are some easy fixes for layer 1? Well, again, I'm looking at link lights, checking cables, checking ports. I had to swap them around here as soon as I did this link cable on. And I'm just verifying all my connectivities, make sure things are in the correct port and so forth. So there's a whole bunch of little things I can do at layer 1, and I haven't opened really any configuration yet. Just checking the layer 1, correct cables, correct ports kind of thing. So there's some layer 1 troubleshooting in our network.